Hi friends, in this video we will see one of the special pseudo selector in CSS called is. So the pseudo select is in CSS allows you to write compound selectors more effectively. What do I mean by compound selector? Let's say we have one order list, list item, order list and list item, and we are adding some CSS, for example color. Instead of this CSS, you can write down sudo is, and in argument you can pass ul, ol and li, and you can write down your CSS. So this and this both are same. Okay. This is one of the easiest example. I can write down one more complex one. If you are aware of WordPress, you might have heard of section, and we have h1 in section, section h2, section h3 and up to section h6. Also we have article, and we also have heading and article, article h2, article h3. Also we have aside, which is a tag, aside h2 and aside h3, and navigation h1, nav h2, nav h3, nav h4, but we are considering to h3. It might be h4, h5, h6, but we are just focusing on how this is CSS pseudo selector is working. So for example, we have some class and color for this h1, h2, h3 tags. So it might be difficult to write down CSS like this if we have much more text, right? So instead of this, we can simply write is in argument section, comma, article, comma, aside, comma, new, and space is, and in its argument we can write down h1, h2, h3, and here you can again write the CSS which you want to add for this CSS. So this and this both are same CSS. So as you can see, this is an easy way to write down this kind of CSS. Right? So let's see another example. In HTML, let's say we have one div with class cool, okay, and some text. We have another div called class fun and some text within that div, and one paragraph, and in that paragraph we have same class called fun. So this is three divs. Let me comment out. I'm writing one CSS which will apply to all these elements. Div is class name is equal to cool and fun, and let's say give color red. Okay, so what do you think how it will apply? It will apply to first two divs but not the third one. Why? Because we are adding div before is, so it will select div with class cool, div with class fun, and not the paragraph with class fun. So this is one of the simple example you can give. So as you might aware of pre-processing, CSS pre-processing, I can show you. Content H2 H3. This is the SCSS CSS processing. So when you are writing CSS using is, you might think that it is related to CSS pre-processing, but this is not the CSS pre-processing. It is completely different thing. Okay, so you need to keep this in mind. The next point is specificity. So the specificity of is pseudo-class is replaced by the specificity of its most specific argument. Thus, a selector written with is does not necessarily have equivalent specificity to the equivalent selector written without is. So that means that the specificity of is gets auto upgraded to the most specific item in the list of arguments that we have provided. So let me add this, keep it as it is. For example, we have one OL list is the class UL space LI and some CSS is there. Okay, some CSS is there. Let me just remove. Okay, and we have one OL LI and some CSS is there. So this is has a higher precedence and this will be applied later on because is has the weight of its heavier selector which is list. This is so this is the specificity of is. Here you have to keep one more thing in mind, that let me show you with an example. If any part of a selector is not valid, if it is invalid, the entire block is thrown out. It won't work. For example, if we have one paragraph space paragraph and something not real, okay, and color yellow. So here if we do not have something unreal, something not real element, then this will not getting applied, right? So here you can use is p p and something not real, it is a tag. And if you use yellow for example, it's just an example, so this is fine, this will work. If this does not exist, this color yellow will apply on paragraph. So this is the main benefit of using is, right? So when we talk about browser support, this property is supported by Chrome, Firefox, Edge and Safari. It is not supported by Internet Explorer. So to get the best support, you might want to use matches. Another CSS pseudo selector is there. You will see this in detail in another video. But you can use matches and you can also use not. It is also a CSS pseudo selector. So let's see one more example, the practical example. Let me remove this CSS. In HTML, for example, we have one main class, main tag here, h1 and article title. This is the h1. And after that, we have, let me add that dummy text. For example, we have some dummy text here, right? Again, we have h2, another title, and we have paragraph, and in paragraph again we have some dummy text, For example, same, we have h3, another title, and we can add one more paragraph to see how this CSS pseudo class works. So we have h2, h3, right? And to select this, we can simply write main, which is the main HTML tag, space is h1, h2, h3, and color, for example, f06 is 06. Let's see how it looks. So, as you can see, the article title is color red, but not this text because we have selected only headings. So, let's see. Yeah, here you can see color is applied to h1, h2, and h3. Right. So, if we talk about the history, originally this pseudo class was named any. Have you heard about this pseudo selector any? Yeah, this was the history. This was the class name which was implemented, but it was with the limited support. So this is not used for now. And if you want to use in more perfect way, you can use matches. Here you can add div, paragraph, and some HTML or some CSS. So this was all for is pseudo selector in CSS. Like this video if you learned something new today. Subscribe to my channel for more related videos. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.